Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome everyone to today's Explainer, where we are investigating a truly profound cosmic mystery. For millennia, billions of people across the globe have believed in the concept of reincarnation. It's the idea that our souls journey through this endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Normally, it's framed as this beautiful, totally natural process of spiritual evolution and learning. But today, we're looking at source material that completely flips this ancient belief on its head. The source we're unpacking today presents a genuinely shocking theory. What if this cycle isn't a classroom at all? What if instead it's a meticulously designed artificial trap? So get ready, because we are going to explore the theory of the great cosmic deception, and it is absolutely going to make you question the very nature of human existence.
Our source hooks us right away by pointing out a massive, glaring logical flaw in the traditional narrative of reincarnation. Just think about it for a second. If the entire point of returning to the physical world over and over again is to progress spiritually, to correct our past mistakes, and to become better beings, then why on earth are our memories wiped entirely clean every single time we're born? Starting from spiritual kindergarten with zero memories of the lessons we supposedly spent lifetimes learning is just an incredibly unfair and inefficient system. Seriously, how can you fix a mistake if you don't even remember making it?
So the author proposes a radical paradigm shift here. On one side, we have what we would expect from true natural evolution. That would be a system where you retain your experiences to actively correct mistakes and elevate your consciousness. But on the other side, we have what the source calls the anomaly, which is what we actually experience. This is a continuous loop of forgotten lessons, repeated errors, and endless suffering. The source argues that this cosmic amnesia is absolutely not a natural law of the universe. Instead, it's an artificial, forced restriction. It's a mechanism literally designed to keep us running in circles, endlessly repeating the same cycles of suffering without ever truly advancing.
Section 1. An artificial spiritual trap.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how these hidden clues map out perfectly across human history. The source pulls from an incredible variety of disciplines. We're talking about ancient navigational guides for the afterlife, like the Egyptian and Tibetan books of the dead. We see the unbroken Ethiopian biblical canon, which contains 81 books, preserving texts completely lost to the rest of the world. The source heavily emphasizes suppressed knowledge, pointing out that historical empires deliberately burned and hid texts that revealed this spiritual trap. For instance, early Gnostic writings found at Nag Hammadi were actually buried in jars just to protect them from destruction. The author even draws a fascinating parallel to ancient conflicts in Sri Lanka, where the dominant Mahavihar tradition literally burned the texts of the rival Abhagalitic sect. Throughout history, knowledge of this trap has been systematically erased. Yet the source notes that modern phenomena, things like near-death experiences, and even independent research into astral travel by former NASA scientists, keep independently rediscovering the exact same artificial boundaries around our reality.
Section 2. The Emotion Energy Farm. In traditional Buddhist teachings, the concept of Mara is often viewed as just a psychological or religious metaphor for temptation, distraction, and the ego. But our source takes this much, much further, defining Mara as a literal, predatory entity. According to the text, Mara and his forces essentially operate humanity like a livestock farm. We are trapped in a beautifully deceptive matrix, kept totally oblivious to our true nature, and treated as a herd. And just like we raise cattle for milk or chickens for eggs, this entity raises humans to produce a very specific, highly valuable energetic crop.
In esoteric circles, this energetic crop is often referred to as loosh. If we look at the breakdown here, massive portions of this energy are generated through fear and terror, anger and hatred, alongside lust and deep material craving. Whenever we are pushed to our absolute emotional limits, when our survival instincts kick in, when we erupt in rage, or when we are consumed by desire, we emit a powerful energetic frequency. To the entities running this matrix, that raw emotional energy is literally sustenance. We are essentially living batteries, powering their realm through our constant emotional reactivity.
To truly ground this abstract cosmic concept, the author uses some incredibly relatable everyday metaphors. Think of a beekeeper harvesting honey. The beekeeper doesn't hate the bees. In fact, he ensures they survive, but he routinely extracts the product of their labor. It's a slightly disturbing thought the next time you drizzle honey on your toast, right? Or consider farmers collecting eggs from chickens. The source even uses the fascinating biological example of ants that literally herd and milk aphid in nature to harvest their sweet secretions. Mara doesn't want to destroy humanity. A dead farm produces no energy. The goal is just to keep us endlessly reacting, endlessly reproducing, and endlessly generating emotional energy without us ever realizing we're being milked.
Now, to prove that this isn't just some modern sci-fi concept,
The source shares a very specific, ancient anecdote from Buddhist literature. It's the story of a grotesque demon who boldly sat right in the throne of Sakra, the ruler of the gods. As the surrounding deities saw this happen, they became absolutely furious, shouting in anger. But with every single burst of their anger, the demon absorbed their energy. It grew larger, more powerful, and more terrifying. It wasn't until Sakra arrived and approached the demon with absolute calm and loving kindness that the demon, totally starved of its angry food source, shrank away and vanished. This ancient text directly validates the concept that there are entities that feed directly on human emotional energy.
Bringing this right into the present day, the source offers a pretty chilling analysis of modern geopolitics. The author claims that the seemingly unnatural and entirely irrational behaviors of contemporary political leaders across the globe, explicitly referencing specific administrations in the US, France, the UK, and Israel, are not merely human political failures. Rather, the theory suggests that they are deliberately orchestrated events designed to extract massive, concentrated bursts of emotional energy. From this perspective, a war zone is essentially an all-you-can-eat buffet of fear, grief, and terror for the forces maintaining this simulation.
Section 3. The Deception at Death. So, this brings us to the pivotal question of the entire explainer. If this world is a trap of suffering, why do we keep coming back? The astonishing answer the source provides is that Mara actually cannot force us into a physical body. There's a universal law of free will that even these entities have to obey. For us to return to the farm, we actually have to ask for it. We literally have to consent. Let's move to and see how this builds. The source outlines this precise mechanism of entrapment as the cycle of the lone. Step 1. At the moment of death, a soul experiences intense disorientation and confusion. Step 2. In that confused state, a deep craving for the vibrant, technicolor allure of the physical world arises. It's that burning desire to taste, touch, love, and experience material life all over again. Step 3 is the trap itself. Driven by this desire, we willingly approach the entities running the system and we ask for a physical body. And step 4, they gladly grant us this body, but it is a deceptive loan. By accepting the physical form, we sign the contract, wiping our memories and anchoring ourselves right back into the cycle of suffering and energy harvesting just to pay off the debt of the flesh.
Section 4. The Ultimate Escape Plan.
So here is the ultimate battle plan. The trap relies entirely on our emotional reactivity. Every time we fly into a rage, every time we are paralyzed by anxiety, and every time we obsess over material cravings, we are actively feeding the farm. The escape, therefore, is complete mindfulness. By cultivating a deep, unshakable awareness, by understanding that our earthly desires and the ego itself are impermanent illusions, we stop generating the loosh. We literally starve the system. When you no longer react blindly to the world, the matrix simply loses its grip on you.
To achieve this level of mastery, the source details 4 specific Buddhist reflections, known as the 4 Anusati, which serve as an ultimate training manual for the mind. First is Maranusati, the mindfulness of death. This teaches us to accept impermanence so we aren't terrified when our time actually comes. Second is Metanusati, cultivating boundless loving kindness to neutralize anger and hatred, exactly like Sakra did with that demon. Third is Buddhanusati, recollecting the qualities of the awakened mind to guide our own consciousness. And finally, Asupanusati, reflecting on the impurity and temporary nature of the physical body, which fundamentally destroys our craving to possess one. Training the mind with these 4 reflections ensures that at the moment of death, we remain lucid, calm, and totally immune to Mara's deceptive offers.
So the crucial point is captured perfectly in this quote. We cannot be trapped without our consent. Our desire is the anchor that binds us to the simulation. All the technological suppression, all the energetic farming, all the political chaos we discussed, none of it actually matters if you control your own mind. The entities can present the illusion, but they cannot force you to sign the contract. Your own mindfulness, your ability to release attachment to the material world, holds the absolute key to your liberation from the cycle.
We've covered some incredibly deep and challenging material today, looking at reality through a totally different lens. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a thought to reflect on as you go about your day. Based on everything we've explored about the nature of this energetic trap, ask yourself, what earthly cravings, what persistent angers or deep-seated fears are currently anchoring you to the cycle? Take a moment today to just observe your own reactions. Stay curious, stay mindful, and remember, your energy belongs to you. Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and we'll see you next time.